Good morning, everyone. I'm Brett McRae from the Northern Ag Network with your farm and ranch news. The cattle industry advocates are speaking out against the persecution of a West River ranching family by the federal government. Western South Dakota ranchers Charles and Heather Maud have been indicted on charges of theft by the U.S. Attorney's Office related to a small piece of Forest Service land the family has stewarded since 1913. NCBA's Vice President of Government Affairs, Ethan Lane, says in this case it's unconscionable that the Forest Service has allowed a heavy-handed federal agent with a history of permittee abuse to escalate a fence line disagreement into criminal charges against family ranchers. NCBA President and Cheyenne, Wyoming cattleman Mark Isley says he's disgusted by this case, and it proves that government overreach can happen anywhere. The Maud family was forced to retain separate counsel in this case, which doubled their legal expenses. You can find a link to their GoFundMe website and more on this story at northernag.net. Montana State University Extension will host a discussion with local wool producers about the challenges surrounding wool markets in the U.S. The program will be September 11th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Eastern Montana Fairgrounds, in conjunction with the Montana Ram and Ewes Sale in Miles City. This discussion features local producers like Evan Helly with Duckworth talking about the challenges and opportunities facing U.S. companies trying to compete in a global market and revive a U.S. wool and natural fiber clothing supply chain. Thanks for tuning in for your Ag News. The Northern Ag Network will be back in 1 hour.
I wanted to put up a fence to protect my tomato plants. So I grabbed this. And this. And then I did this. But instead of yielding a big crop, I hit a utility line and had to pay $1,200 in repairs. I didn't just lose my pride and joy. I could no longer afford the new stovetop I'd been saving up for. Next time, I'm going to make my free call to 811 before I dig.
Learn from Curry and hundreds of others. Call 811 before you dig.
Hello again, everyone. Brett McRae here with more Ag News and your markets. The 2024 winter wheat crop has presented a variety of numbers this year, according to the Montana Wheat and Barley Committee. Research and Communications Director Lori Wickett says in central Montana, from north of Billings to Great Falls, yields are anywhere from 40 to 85 bushels to the acre, with some anomalies as high as 120. Test weight is consistently above 60 pounds, and average protein is about 1/2 to a point lower than Montana's typical 11.8%. Growers are suspicious that late season frosts are to blame for lower protein this year. Eastern Montana continues to suffer crop losses because of grasshopper infestations. Executive Director Kent Kupfner expects the winter wheat crop in Montana to average 50 bushels an acre in 2024. Cash cattle trade was sharply lower last week, down $3 to $4 for live deals at $190, and the dress basis off $4 to $5 at $302. In Glasgow, cull cows traded from $130 to $143 last week, bulls from $155 to $171. In Sioux Falls, 60 to 79 pound lambs brought from $181 to $200, $5 to $6 lower than the previous sale. A mixed start to the wheat futures on Monday. Minneapolis higher, but Chicago and Kansas City both lower. Spring wheat harvest is just starting in our area, so we will have the opportunity to see what kind of effect those hot and dry conditions have had on the Northern Plains crop. Meanwhile, the French wheat harvest continues to have major issues, severely diminishing supplies for the European Union this year. That's all for your Ag Report. Have a great day.